Kool.
Now we have DJ Halo on the right here and MC Homeless on the left, part of the Black Elvis 2 tour. How are you guys today?
Doing well. We're on tour with
awesome.
Kool Keith. How could it be bad?
Tired.
Now DJ Halo, correct me if I'm wrong. You have more than 25 years as a DJ under
That's
your
right.
belt.
Yeah.
Right now.
I started DJing in 1997, so what I like to say is I've been DJing for long enough that I cite the year I started rather than how many years I've been DJing.
Okay, that makes sense. What things have changed since you started, man.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep up with the trends?
So, I mean, the biggest thing about keeping up with trends or like keeping current as a DJ is just keeping your ear to the ground and just being interested in finding new music. You know, like I find a lot of DJs don't necessarily dig or, something that I see, and this is not a dig at anybody who, doesn't or whatever, but like, when people do videos or whatever with their phase controllers or something like that, like there's no needle on their turntable. And I'm like, you got a phase controller now? You just stop listening to records? Like, well, like if you're, in my estimation, if you're not like about buying records, being part of vinyl culture, even if you don't use them to DJ or anything like that, like, for a long time, like most of my vinyl collection was just me collecting and archiving culture, in the same way that I collect and read books. So, I don't know. I mean, I could hit up those people who post videos where there are no needles on their turntables and be like, are you still collecting records or whatever? But like, at base level, DJing is an exploration of finding new music to be able to present to other people. Like when I was on radio or what I'm doing, as a turntablist, I'm essentially just recommending music to people on a grand scale. Being like, as opposed to like calling up your homie like, bro, this album's fucking crazy, you gotta check it out. Instead, I'm like just playing it for people to like take it in, And what's kind of, at least in the area that I live in, and I won't say it calling out by name, but I find a lot of people have a very low tolerance for things that they don't know. They're not willing to take the ride, which is like part of the deal in my estimation. Like, I'm there to break records. When I'm on the radio, I'm giving people as much information as they can about the records that I'm playing so that they can purchase them, because I'm there to sell records for people. If people want to ask me about stuff that I played or whatever, it's a little bit different as a turntablist DJ. I want to keep the secret sauce, but at the same time, like, I want people to check out this music and hopefully it'll open doors for them. So, for me, it's just a constant exploration of what's new music, and not just like pop things or whatever. Like, I subscribe to a ton of like promo services and I get a ton of stuff sent to me because I'm on radio. So like, a lot of stuff just shows up to my doorstep, which is great. It's makes things easy. But at the same time, I'm out there digging and checking out new things. I remember a long time ago I was in Paris shopping at this store called Music Avenue. Shouts to my guy Francesco. What's up? Anyway, I was shopping and like him and I sort of talked to this young DJ, because the DJ was like, how do I find new music, or like how do I go about, what if I don't know anything, like how do I pick a record to just purchase that I don't know? And so we talked about how, like, a lot of times just a cover art or something that like looks cool, you check the back, like if it's a label or somebody rings a bell to you, like, hey, check it out, $5, whatever. I mean, vinyl's a little bit more expensive than it was then, but still, like, that's the exploration of like being a DJ and ready to present something new, and always looking for like a dope jam that you can tell people about, you know, whether it's telling them, you know, with my hands or actually telling them on mic. That's how I stay in touch, is just always being interested in finding new music.
Now, MC Homeless, we have to start with the name, and you have to, you know, you have to give us an explanation of
course.
You know, why the name.
Well, I was in 11th grade, Youngstown, Ohio, and I'd always been into hip hop and hip hop culture, and always wanted to be a rapper, and kind of figured it out around that time. And I was into freestyling and battle rapping, and I was in sociology class, and I was battling my friend Mike, and I didn't have like a conventional way of dressing. I guess I still maybe don't, but he was battling me, and he said, "Oh man, you look like a homeless bum or something," you know. And I flipped it on him, and I said, "Well, you could just call me MC Homeless." And people thought that was funny, so the name sort of stuck. And it's weird because it's like, well, if I wasn't MC Homeless, what would I be? You know, I don't even know.
No, cool, good stuff. Now you took some time away from you started in hip hop, and you took some time away.
Yeah.
What made you take that bit of a hiatus?
Yeah, I think I needed a break. I think I just started to feel some stagnation within my music, within where I was seeing myself in my music career. I just wasn't necessarily getting the things that I wanted to get, or seeing myself where I wanted to see myself, and I started to feel a little bitter, you know, and I just needed to step away. I concentrated on other things. I made a movie, I did some punk and hardcore stuff, and then carefully plotted my comeback, you know, and I've had good momentum since then, and, you know, I just feel reinvigorated.
So 2017 was the year that you came back to the music, is that right?
I guess so.
2017.
It sounds like you did your homework.
So what again, you took this hiatus. What brought you back? What was that one thing that happened?
I just love rap, and I love hip hop. I love rapping, and, you know, freestyling and putting out records, and I just thought the time was right. Just, you know, I was bitten by that bug again, where it was just like, okay, I wanna do something.
Cool. Now back to you, DJ Halo. You have a lot of experience in radio, which you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, and what has shaped how has that shaped your, I guess, your music career, or your DJ
Mm-hmm.
career? How being on the radio, how has that shaped that?
Well, I would say that there's a lot of people I've met in a radio media person, and then I sort of resurface again as like a touring DJ or something like that. So it's been interesting to meet people in sort of different arenas as an artist or like a media person. So my time in radio, and like I still have a show in radio. I have like a couple different ones. I always, for me, doing radio is an important part of my existence. Like I love broadcasting, because it's like being able to present new music to people in that type of a format versus a live DJ setting, which is like where you're kind of more locked into. You can't just you can jump around, but I love radio in the sense of like I can play 3 songs of like rap music and then do a talk break and go into 3 songs of metal, and people's like emotional clock isn't like, whoa, what the fuck happened? Like, I heard some dope rap music, and then all of a sudden this guy started playing metal. Like, what the hell's going on? So like that's what I love about the format of radio, is like being able to be a personality, but also present like, hey, here's a whole bunch of cool varied music that I found. And as a live DJ, I've always been open format, even before it was like a thing, right? I always was open format, like wanted to sort of condense all my influences into like one ball of awesome and present it with a bunch of scratching. So I would say that like radio has helped me to connect to a lot of artists that I've circled back with as like a DJ, as like a live DJ, or seen them in my city, or whatever. Like, so radio has both open doors, as well as live DJing has opened doors for radio as well. Like, I have a show in the UK that's like a mixed show. One show is drum and bass, and the other one's like an open format show. I wouldn't have been able to get those without like connections I had made through live DJing. So it's like one feeds the other, and just like helps you to understand like how to be around artists and whatnot, and also talking to people and getting cool information out of them, like being able to, like I mentioned, to, set up an interview with a promoter who's like, hey, I'm cool with the promoter, and then like completely be like them calling up and being, oh snap, I forgot that they were calling in, and being able to like play it off like, oh yeah, blah, blah, but get good information out of them at the same time through questioning them, and like not just being boring, like, hey, what's your influences, like what made you start rapping or whatever, like being able to ask more interesting questions or more in-depth questions to get better information out of them. And a lot of times like it'll dawn on me in the interview, I'm like, oh yeah, that's who this person is, but like still being able to like bridge that gap with them, and then there have been plenty of people who have like I've like seen again at South by Southwest or something like that, and they're like, dude, that interview was like crazy, like 20 minutes of like I'd never been asked questions that you've asked me. So yeah, radio has defined a lot of my trajectory as a live DJ, and I want to shout out a specific promoter who has seen my like entire arc of a trajectory. Is this woman, Jessica Weber. She owns and runs this company called Cosign Collective. Anybody who's in radio who plays rap stuff knows her, and she's expanded infinitely into way more other stuff, world music, electronic music, etc., etc. But she, of all the people I've dealt with, has seen like my complete arc from being just a guy who had a radio show to like I'm on tour with Kool now. So yeah, radio has helped me in a lot of ways to like reach areas that I may not have been able to do if I was just focused on live DJing. So
now, speaking of the Kool Black Elvis tour, what can you guys share? Share your experiences so far and the highlights of being part of the tour.
It's been great. I mean, every night it's a different audience, and for someone like me, I would say like 98% of the audience has no clue who I am, and just seeing people interact with me. I always make sure I'm at the merch table either before my performance or after my performance, and just really connecting with people and just seeing in live time that the fan base is expanding, and just being able to express myself and create, and it's been great.
DJ Halo, what about you?
It's been amazing. Part of what I love about doing rap tours like this is, people paid a ticket price to come in. So me like going out and like doing some weird stuff at the beginning of the night or whatever, and that's what I love about doing rap shows, is like people paid to get in and see a certain artist or whatever. So me like doing some off the wall type stuff is okay, because a lot of my live DJing is like I'm under pressure to like make people dance, to make them drink, to like keep them in the spot. So like for me to have a little bit more freedom to just like play a bunch of stuff that I haven't been able to play before, or do blends and mashups and like do a lot of like cool, more intricate things, rather than like at clubs where people are like, why is he fucking scratching so much? Like that to me is like of tremendous value, and it like allows me to express myself as a turntablist artist in a way that I can't necessarily always do in a club setting. So for me, it's been great to have all like a really good audience there who were like, I mean, when we were in Portland, there was like I was like playing for 500 people, and they're like enthralled by what I'm doing, which is like amazing. It, like to be able to keep people's attention like that, where they're like, you know, and after the show it's like 10, 15, 20 people like, yo, dude, you're so good. And I'm like, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, I better be fucking good. You know, but at the same time, I appreciate them taking the time to say something to me, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's been incredible to like have that feedback from people, because, you know, as artists, we all have periods where we're like, fuck, am I doing the right thing? Like, I just don't feel like people are into what I'm doing or whatever. And it's like, sometimes you can just be in a bad area or something like that, or you're, you know, like I'm the booker for a club where I live, and I've made the executive decision to take myself out of the schedule because like I just don't feel like that's a room for me, you know. And it's like, it hurts because you're just like, yo, I'm a dope DJ, I should be able to rock any crowd, but unfortunately it's not that way. So like having something like this reinvigorates you to be like, oh shit, I am good at what I do, and like not to be like, you know, F those people at that spot, but like gives you a better like a perspective to be like, oh, okay, now I can reapproach what I had been doing previously and feeling like I was, you know, hitting a wall with it, you know. So like these tour dates help me, you know, to feel better about what I'm doing as an artist and also think of it in a different way, you know. So yeah, it's been great. I mean, you know, hats off to Keith and his team for taking us on the tour.
And speaking of that, how did you guys come together with Keith and end up on the tour with him?
Just building with Keith over the years, just doing shows and doing songs, and one day I just got that text and it was like they were looking for an opener and made it happen.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, how like Homeless and I have known each other for a long time through touring. I mean, you know, we had done probably like without actually doing a tour together, like just having tours cross paths and whatnot. We've probably done shows in like 8 different states without actually having been on a tour together. And like, so I run a record label. I own and run a record label, and I've released all the Kool Keith 12 inches that Homeless has done. So, you know, it just sort of all came together. You know, I spoke to Keith's management. They were interested in having an opener. You know, we just made it happen. So
now the tour we're on the second leg of the tour.
Correct.
Right. Which upcoming cities are you guys looking forward to performing?
Youngstown, Ohio. That's my hometown.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're playing there. I feel like I pestered Eric, who's Keith's manager, a whole bunch whenever there was like an opening or something. I'm like, how about Youngstown? How about Youngstown? I like have the club owner like on deck, like ready. So Youngstown, definitely my hometown. Besides that, I mean, New York City is going to be incredible. I mean, just the roots of hip hop being there, and Keith's contribution to, you know, hip hop in the home of hip hop. So it's just, you know, it's going to be unbelievable.
I'm looking most forward to, Burlington just recently got added. I love Burlington. I used to DJ up there all the time. And the spot Zen Lounge, if it's the spot that I remember, is a really dope spot. So I'm excited. I'm excited to play there. And of course, like the New York City show is going to be great. I was a club DJ in New York for a long time, so I got a lot of family out there. So I'm looking forward to, you know, having a bunch of people come out and like who hadn't seen me DJ in a while and be like, wow. Yeah, so, you know, New York City, and then there's like the New England dates. Like I'm a Connecticut boy, so it'll be nice to be back in New England, especially catching the end of leaf peeper season, as it were. So.
Now, where can people find you guys online? Find your music, social media.
Go for it.
You can find my music on Spotify or any streaming service. Just look up MC Homeless. As far as social media, I just mainly do Instagram. So you can find me at RustBeltHammer. That's RustBeltHammer. That's my handle. Or you could just look up at MC Homeless. It'll come up as MC Homeless either way.
So you can find me and my record label. So my record label is called Four Finger Distro. If you just at Four Finger Distro, all one word, And then me on socials is my website is halodoesn't.suck.com, and my socials is at halodoesn't.suck, all one word. It's pretty easy to remember. It all started from like a mix I did a long time ago. Just wrote "doesn't suck" on it, and people were like, "Oh, is that what you're gonna call it?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And it just happened to stick. Like really an inadvertent branding maneuver. So, yeah, Halo doesn't suck. Check it out.